Okay, so in this particular demonstration, we're going to look at the quarterly reporting, which is now called a summary report. So if we go to the report tab, you'll see here that we have some PDSAs that have been entered, and that's done by clicking on the Add PDSA button, which is shown in a different demonstration. So if we go to the summary tab, you'll see here that we haven't actually created a summary report for this period, so we simply click on the Create button. This then generates some standard information based on what is otherwise in the system, in the PDSA. So you could see before that we had two PDSAs that had been started, and so these start and finish dates are based on the do section of the PDSA template. So there's two places where you enter in dates. The first one is kind of an indicative date, which is where you put in the plan section, but we don't actually consider a PDSA started until the doing has actually commenced. So the template will pick up anything that has had a date allocated to it as a start date in the do section, and the same with the finished. That will be where it's been added into the do section. So you can see that the information, this tells you the site, talks about the date range that it relates to and the date that it was created and the facilitator name. It'll have a list of the reports. So if you need to have your memory refreshed on what a particular PDSA was about, you can click on the hyperlink and that will download the PDSA and allow you then to read that particular PDSA. You can see here by status, so it collects information saying how many have been started in this quarter, how many have been finished, and how many are continuing. So as you can see above, that correlates with this information here. The status on both of these is underway, but if we had some reports that had been finished, then that would also, it would say approved or returned, whatever the status may be for that particular PDSA. Change ideas are based on the information that you put into the system. So when you select a change idea from the drop-down menu in your PDSA cycle reports, that the number of change ideas that have been selected that have actual PDSAs against them will be represented here. And that breaks it down into the outcomes. So in this case, one of them relates to MCH and one relates to ECEC. And then again, it breaks it down to outcome area, etc. It then allows you to describe as previously done in the Excel quarterly reports. And then down here in the study and act, it tells you that we haven't decided on any of them at this stage. One of them isn't completed, but so it counts the ones that have been completed. And normally there would be an action here around whether it was adapted, adopted, or abandoned. We speak here around the change ideas as previously done in the reports, and then you provide feedback. This is another report where you're able to leave open and continue editing later, or you can close and submit to the program manager. I'm going to update it here. Click OK. So you can see here, I can go back to this report at any time, click on the edit button, and that allows me to see what's been done in this particular area. I'm going to show you now one in a different site here. So when I look at the summary report here, you'll actually see that because there's more PDSAs, I'll go back to the PDSA reports for a moment. You'll see that heaps of them have been started here, but they haven't actually got a start or finish date in the do section of the PDSA report. So they don't get counted in the report, but anything that does have a start and finish date will be counted, as long as it fits within that quarter. So go into the summary. If I click on edit here, then again, you can see that there's a number of different PDSAs. You can see the status of each of those. And so it shows you here whether they're continuing on or not, the best start outcomes that they relate to, etc. And then once again, if I update this, it just saves any information that's recorded. Once it gets submitted, it currently goes through to DET Central Office for comment. However, in coming quarters, that will be changed so that it will actually go through to your regional contact for them to be able to assist you and to, just to make any suggestions if there needs to be some changes made. So that is how you add a quarterly report. If you've got any questions around that, just let me know. Cheers.